Have Accurascale finally run out of good ideas, and is a 16-ton mineral wagon the best they can come up with now? We've also got some layout updates coming for you later on, so stay tuned. So it is now, what day? I always forget what day it is when I do this, and I've gone through the whole day as well. What day is it? It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. I've got on from work. I'm watching Black Books. I've got some wood, and I've got a long thing here. I'm going to put this on that, and then that is going to go there. So back scene time. Oh God, I've dropped it. There we go. Now it's just blue tacked on at the minute, but that just properly frames the scene ever so nicely. Obviously this bit, the join, is always obvious. I'm not great at doing that, but whatever. For now, it's a back scene, and it just, as I say, it just sort of makes everything look a little bit more enclosed and just finishes things nicely. Just watching John James C on his stream. Do subscribe to his channels, guys. He's almost at 1,000 subscribers now. Sunday evenings, bit of chat, worth watching. Anyway, this is the little fueling area, and we need to integrate this. Now, this was made ages ago. It's a little fueling point that I made for the old layout with some hoses and pumps on there and what have you. I just need to integrate it into this little bit of a scene here. Then I can put the newly painted diesel tank on there. I need to get that weathered up and what have you. I can go in there later on, but for now I need to just make something to bed that in. Now that's just cardboard as a base, so I'm going to get some DAS modelling clay, make a base for it, and press this into that base, and that will hopefully make a full sort of area thing. Let's have a go. Actually, no, I'm not. The clay has dried out horribly. So plan B, I think. I found plan B. Here we are. This, I can see nothing going wrong with this whatsoever. Yeah, I'm sure this is going to work just wonderfully. One-handed as well, you know. I'm going to have to use both hands here. Give me a sec. Got a nice big splodge of it on there. I need to very quickly work this in with something soft and non-hard. There you go, bit of retaining wall will do the job. Bit of this. A bit more, but you get the idea. There you go, so you get the idea now, and it's just a case of blending the edges in like that. That'll do. And when that sets, it's just going to be all sort of one piece. There we are, you get the idea. Lovely job. So now time to get some ballast on there, just to sort of rough it up again. Then we can paint and powder it and what have you. So the day after the night before, we've got the little tank in place, not glued down yet, and it still needs some weathering on it, but you get the idea. And of course the fuel pump is in place as well. Again, just need some weathering to get it into place. And a container for storage of tools, safety equipment, etc, etc. It needs weathering down, but I like it. I think it looks really well. And you can see now it's all starting to take shape with the back scene in there, some locos stable over yonder. It's all looking good now. I'm liking it. Looking lovely. What do you think I should put in next, guys? Bear in mind it's going to make sense to work from the back, so I'm thinking of fencing along the back there. I've got some fencing on order. Maybe bring those bushes forward a little bit. Some more lighting at the rear. We can do rear lighting, that's not a problem. But I'm thinking that's what needs to happen next. What do you think? Let me know. I also picked up these little point motors, decorative ones to go by my real ones, so I'm going to paint them up because from what I can see none of these are actually black in real life. I'm going to paint them up, let them dry, install them, and then I'll add wiring and things later on to make them look a little bit more realistic. Also going to have to mount them on sleepers. They're all sat on sleepers, so that's something for later on. All I've done, very simple, is just stick each of the point motors with a little bit of blue tack to this little board thing so I can manipulate them. I've got some cement grey that will be applied via brush. Yo, easily done. All I've done that is just acrylic paint. I think it's the Vallejo Air stuff, just decanted into a bottle and I've just dabbed it on. Stippled it on. I'm going to leave that to dry. And once it's dry, little bit of light weathering on them, and then I can stick them in place. Okay, it is now 10:45 PM on Tuesday evening, and I was supposed to be sound fitting the Class 17 Clayton. I've just spent the last 45 minutes doing prep work, cutting into the fuel tank and what have you to allow for the speaker to come through, done all the fine soldering, and then at the last hurdle everything was done. Something caught on this and the loco fell off the table, hit that metal bar down there, smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bogie frames, I think they just clip back on, and all these wires are supposed to be on this 21 pin to 8 pin adapter, and you'll notice that they're not. Oh, and it's also lost the buffer from the other side as well, so and I'm going to now spray my fencing up. This is laser cut card, but it's really fine. It's from a chap on eBay. So a little bit of high coat silver on both sides of that, and we've got a metal fence. There you are, nice and lovely. Now what you're supposed to do is drill tiny holes and slot them into it and stick it in, and it stands up free. But because it's going against the back seam, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cut the legs off and just literally stick it against the back seam like that, all the way along there, and that will be enough for me, in my head. There's just enough relief there to give the effect of, oh, that's where the end of the depot is. So I'm going to stick that on now, and then after I've done that, we're going to have a little chat about Accurascale. Alright then, it's time for Accurascale. Under the microscope. No, I'm only joking. Right, this is not a character assassination, so if you're after that, I suggest you skip on. Accurascale announced recently their attempt, or that they intend to make a 16-ton mineral wagon. Now, 16-ton mineral wagons are a staple of the model railway world. Existing examples from almost every manufacturer. Apple have got their own version. Batman have got their own, which is arguably the current market leader. There are numerous kit versions available. Even Hornby have made an attempt at it with their 20-ton, whatever they are, little brown things. There's already, seemingly, an option for everybody out there on the market at the moment. So what's on Accurascale's mind? What are they trying to do? Are they out of ideas for interesting wagons already? Are they scraping the bottom of the barrel, or the bottom of the wagon, as the case appears to be? I'm not so sure, personally. This might go a long way into deciphering Accurascale's thought process. Accurascale say on their website, seen as very much the missing link in the Powering Britain range, so they do a range called Powering Britain where they do children's and nuclear fast and all the like. The 16-ton mineral wagon is an essential addition to tell the story of coal traffic on the railways throughout the 20th century. The archetypal BR 16-ton all-steel, non-hoppered mineral wagon during the 50s and 60s, There's probably not a siding, freight yard or industrial railway system in the country that did not house at least an example or three of these very important yet very mundane wagons. So why this wagon then? There's loads of other mundane wagons out there, why this one? Is this part of a new Accurascale strategy? I mean, let's face it, you've got your Deltics that have made fantastic model, the Manor, Class 37, those would be the steak in the meal that is model railways. Where are the chips? I think these might well be the chips, if you know what I'm saying. Bread and butter, if you will, bread and butter. Something that's out there that a lot of modelers are going to want to buy, regardless of how many they've already got. Every layout, every siding, from a lot of eras and periods, it's a wide catchment wagon. And of course, we all know Accurascale make fantastic models anyway. There's no shadow of a doubt that this particular model will probably follow the same ethos, design school of thought, if you will, if that even makes sense, you know what I mean? It's going to be good. We'll have a look at the spec sheet in a minute, but there are some versions out there which you can buy from other manufacturers for very little money. Is it going to be enough to sway people away from those? For those going to be the model that wants the most up-to-date and the latest tooling of everything, regardless of what they already have, and that's fine. To a degree, I would say I'm probably one of them. If you've got a rake of 20 of these things from Batman or Dapol or whoever, are you really then going to go out and spend more money to have the same wagon? I'm not so sure. Let's see what Accurascale is saying, shall we? So this is the specs from Accurascale's website at the minute. This is what they're saying you get for your pennies. You get die-cast metal chassis with a weight of around 37 grams, which is pretty heavy really, and that's without a coal load as well, so do bear that in mind. They're saying they've got a scale length and all this lot, yes, okay, fine. Talking about wheelbases and minimum radius of first set track curves, which you would expect anyway from a small four-wheel wagon like that. You'd expect it to do first radius curves. They're saying they've got separately fitted doors, top doors and end doors, so that will make the detail look just that little bit extra, a bit nicer. 3 metal hole wheels, canopy blackened, okay, so to some sort of standard ep59 110. Blackened brass bearings, conforming to Accurascale standards of 14.4mm back-to-backs on 2mm axles over 26mm pinpoints. Yeah. Eroded metal, plastic and wire detail parts, including handrails, grab rails, side door handrails, lamp brackets, brake gear, draw gear, and 3-link and instant couplings, and also, of course, turn metal sprung buffers. That's a lot, isn't it? But is it enough? I don't know, I've not got one yet. Hopefully I better get my hands on some in the coming months, weeks, days, years. I don't actually have any 16-ton mineral wagons in my fleet at all at the minute. I have had them before from Batman and Dapol, funnily enough. I think the Hornby one as well, but at the minute don't actually have any. I think one of the key features that they're going for here is the sheer number of variations that they've tooled up for. They've even got a little bauxite one, which is available in a 3-pack. So you get 2 regular ones and a single bauxite one. I know they did something similar with the MHA wagons where you get a pack of 3 and one of them has the DB Schenker livery on it, which I actually happen to have, and it's a really nice model. So of course you can check out the full range on Accurascale's website in a little bit more detail. Place your pre-orders. We're looking at Q4 2024, so sort of this time next year really, if not a little bit later. I think I pop a link in the description as well if you guys want to click on that and go make up your own minds and have a peruse. But will I be ordering any then? Well, at the moment probably I'm probably not going to rush out right this second and go and order a rake of 20 of them, because I don't have the sort of layouts that would support a rake of 20 of them in day-to-day running. I mean, if I connected them all together at an exhibition, then maybe. But for everyday running, I'm looking at a rake of maximum 6 wagons. It's just enough big enough for a run around loop, because each one of my layouts is 6 foot long anyway. So I probably will get some eventually, because I really do like what Accurascale do. Quite clearly I do. I've got dozens of their wagons, I've got their Locomotive as well, and I'm going to have more of them as soon as my funds are a little bit more balanced, shall we say. But what about you, boys and girls? What do you think? Have Accurascale run out of ideas? Or are they now, is this the very thin edge of a fat wedge of some kind of grand scheme to become the next Bachmann or Hornby or Dapple or something like that, where they've got sets everywhere and they've got something for every modeller laid out in every shop you can come to, in many different liveries, something for everyone, if you will. Is this the end of a very fat wedge? Bread and butter? I hope it is, to be honest with you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with in future. So yes, on the surface, a very mundane, very announcement, but do bear in mind, a river floods one drop of rain at a time. So thank you very much for watching me ramble on, folks. Do drop a comment, like and subscribe, all that good stuff to validate me and my existence. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.